In the last class, I have majorly focused on the concept of what do you mean by comparator and comparable. We have tried to see something called as introduction about file handling. So yesterday I have explained the comparable is the interface belongs to java.lang. Comparator is the interface belongs to java.util. So when you talk about comparable and comparator, they are mostly used whenever we want to perform sorting on any type of collection. So if you want to perform sorting on any type of collection, so you normally use a method called as collections.sort. And when you use collection.sort method, behind the scene, it either uses comparable or it uses comparator. Correct? Now, whenever we talk about comparable and comparator, these are the two interfaces must be implemented by the class. If you have only one single field for comparison, in that case, you can go for one field to go for comparable and implement a compare to. The reason is comparable have in the background compare to function. And whenever I'm saying I want to perform sorting on multiple number of fields, in that case, I'll go for a comparator. When you go for a comparator, it has a function called as compare. So yesterday I have given you the example of one movie class where we try to create an array list. The reason is the comparator and the comparable, they always works on some collections. So they are basically used when you have some collection, then you want to sort that collection and behind the scene it gets called. So that is what is basically we can say. These are the things that we have seen into the last class. Yesterday, I have also given you the detailed description about what do you mean by file, how do you fetch the contents for the file, how do you create a new file, how do you create a new directory, how do you go for fetching the metadata about the file. So all these things you have seen into the last class. Then I have also explained something where I have said there are basically two types of files. One is binary, another is text file. And when I say binary, it is having two variations, input stream and output stream. And when I say text file, I have a reader and the writer. Whenever I want to work with binary files, then for reading, I have to go for input stream class. And whenever I want to go for writing purpose, I have to go for output stream class. But these two are the abstract classes. So whenever we have an abstract class, we cannot create the object of abstract classes. We have to be more specific about it. So I have different variations of, you can say, binary classes. Apart from that, when you want to work with, you can say, text files, we have reader and writer. So these are also the abstract classes which are used for working on the text files. So I have given the variations in which I want to write a single character, I want to write multiple characters, I want to write some binary data, maybe I want to go for non-primitive data to be written, and so on. So if I have this kind of scenario, accordingly, I have to use different classes. And the different classes are file input stream, file output stream, similarly buffer, data, and object. How to use these, how to make a link, how do you go for printing or writing and reading the data in the file? We will see the programs in today's session. Same, we will talk about text files. We will talk about writing multiple characters onto the text file. Yesterday, I have explained you how do you create the object of any class. So when you say I want to create an object of any input stream class, I have to be more specific in creating the object. But when you create the object, let us say a file input stream, it works with file object. So prior to it, I have to create a file object. And when you say I want to create a file object, I need a file name. So I'm passing the file name. These three lines I have tried to write into one specific file. The reason is when you say new file, it basically go for creating one you can say some anonymous object, right? So that is how we can go for you can say creation of objects. Correct? Now, everyone, could you understand up to this point? Could you understand up to this point? Perfect. Next. So let us talk about today's agenda. So I'll just save it as day 14. Right? Today we will talk about reading and writing operation on binary files, read and write operation on text files. We will also see the concept of serialization and deserialization. Serialization. For that, we need to understand serializable interface. And because that interface was pending, and I've told you that we will cover it at the point of file handling. And then I'll give you the meaning of what do you mean by annotations, correct? I'll save this code and let us save it at the correct location. Perfect. So let us say we will start writing the code, which is writing. I hope you all have revised all these things. Writing the single byte at a time into the binary file. Correct? Now, whenever I want to write a byte into a you can say a single byte, and that too in a binary file. Yesterday, we have made a conclusion that I have to go for file input stream or file output stream class. All right. I want to go for reading and writing both. So I may ask from the user some choice. Maybe case 1 for writing the record, maybe case 2 for reading the record. So please understand, if you understand one single program, main and few things will be exactly the same in all the programs. Where there will be the change, only where you will try to create the objects of different classes. So for example, I'm saying I'll go for taking a choice from the user, right? Here, I'll write one function, maybe a menu list function. This is how you normally go for switch case. I'll say I'll go for static method integer menu list. That means this particular function is going to return me some choice. I'll ask from user. Maybe I'll say enter the choice. So I'll say 0 is for exit, 1 is for maybe write record, and 2 is for read record. So I'm giving these 3 options to the user for entering the data. Now, as everyone knows, whenever I want to take some data, I will go for sc.nextInt, right? Now, here I'll say return. Now, whenever you use sc, since I'm declaring this method as static, why I'm going to declare this method as static? Because menu list naam ka function I'm going to call from the main. So point number 1, if I am having scanner, sc is equal to new scanner system.in. That is point 1. But if you could recollect the point, sc is the object which I am trying to refer from the static method. So do you remember? I have to create it as static. I have to import this in java.util. Is it okay? Yes, it is absolutely okay for me. Correct? Next point. Let us say I have declared one choice variable. So I'll say while choice is equal to, maybe I'll go for menu list function, is not equal to 0. Please understand, menu list function will be called, since it is in the same program, it's a static method. Your wish, you can give it call like day14_1.menulist, or you can just write menu list, whatever is your wish. Correct? So if to avoid a confusion, as you know, you call a static method with the help of class name. The method menu list will be called. It will go in the function body. It will ask from the user, 0 is for exit, 1 is for write record, 2 is for read record. User will enter either 0, 1 or 2. This is going to return me an integer. So int value is returned. And am I putting this into choice? Yes. So the choice will be either 1 or 2 or 0. Till the time my choice is not equal to 0, I have to go for switch operation. Switch and the choice. A switch case or switch block consists of different cases. I'm saying write a record because choice 1 that I have given is writing the record. And I'll say break over here. Again, I'll say case 2. I'll say read record. And I'll say break. What does it mean? It means that whenever I'm going for a case 1, I want to write the data in the file. Whenever I'm going for a case 2, I want to read the file, right? I'll mute all. Give me a second. Perfect. So, have you all understood the flow of the program? Yes or no? Now, if you observe, the write record method is given a call from the main. If it is given a call from the main, that means, can I say I shall have a write record and a read record functions, which are static functions? Correct. So basically, I'll just say here day14_1.write record, and maybe day 14_1 dot read record. Correct? Next point. Whenever I'm saying write record, I do not have a static method. So right now it is giving me some error. The reason is I have not defined the function body. Same in read record, it is giving error because I have not defined the function body. So how do I go for? I'll say create a method write record. I'll just cut over here and paste it over here. Similarly, can I say I must have a function called as read record? Is it okay now? Here I will write the functionality. Here I will write the functionality. All right. So, did you all understand the first initial phase of creating a menu-driven program by taking a choice from the user, and then you can go for writing and reading the data into the file, because there are two operations only which you can go for, right? Private methods नहीं भी किया तो भी चलेगा, public किया तो भी चलेगा. By default, it creates the method as private. Here also you can make it as private because I do not want these methods to be accessed outside the class. Completely your wish, right? Next. Another suggestion is, someone is saying, we can make an enum to make it more clear. Of course, yes. जहां पे आपने 1 लिखा है, यहाँ पे आप write लिख दो, यहाँ पे 2 लिखा है, यहाँ पे read लिख दो. Create an enum, take an enum as a choice and go ahead. Another suggestion given by someone is, we can even also take this choice inside the main instead of creating a menu list function. That is also absolutely okay. The way you want to develop your code, it is completely based on you. I have given you one option to go for. You can implement ultimately based on your requirement. Only the output should come correct. Are we okay? Is it okay? Perfect. Now, let us say, all right, let us say we will go for a write record function. Now, everyone knows that here we are trying to read and write in binary file. But what we are going to write, what we are going to read, a single byte. So when I say a single byte on the binary file, the decision that we have made was either use input stream or use output stream from the binary file. But when I'm saying reading and writing a single byte, I'll go for file input stream and a file output stream. Correct. And as you remember, whenever we talk about file input stream, just check the connection. It requires the file object. So that means, can I say, I must have some file name, I must have one path. So every time I'll just say static final, maybe string, I'll say path name is equal to, maybe I'll say demo.dat. Next point, whenever I want to perform writing of the record, so point 1, I will go for file output stream, maybe FOS. Initially, I'll define it as null. Since you are using file output stream, I do not have that in my java.lang, so I have to go for java.io. Can you see file output stream of class has been imported? Correct. Next point. Let us say I'm writing FOS is equal to new file output stream bracket में I'll pass new file, inside a bracket I'll just write path name. Correct. Please observe once again. For this I need to import java.io. That is okay. When you create a file output stream, I hope you remember there may be a situation where you may not have a space into your system. In those scenarios, it may throw the exception. And I hope you remember you have to handle which type of exceptions in the program while development of application, checked exceptions. So please let's go to file output stream. I'll go to java.io, right? I'll go to file output stream. Somewhere here, file output stream. Please check, whenever I'm creating the object, constructor gets called. Please observe, file output stream extends output stream. I'll go to the constructor. It is taking file as the input. Let me go to the first constructor. Because why I have used the first constructor? Because I want to read from the file. I want to write onto the file. Is it taking a file reference? Yes, file reference ले रहा है, तो हमने यहाँ पे उसे एक anonymous object दे दिया है. Correct? Next point. Can you see it is throwing file not found exception? Right. Let us check file not found exception. Is it coming under the category of IO exception under the exception class? Yes. It does not belong to runtime exceptions. And that's the reason. Can I say it is a checked exception? Do we have to handle the checked exception during the program development? Answer is yes. How do you handle it? Either write try or catch, or you can go for throws. But please understand, suppose I'm writing here, include try and catch. So it is saying, can you see the code has given me try block? The code has given me the catch block. That is absolutely okay. Are we okay? Yes or no? Correct. But in this case, at some point of time, I may receive IO exception. Throw zyada sahi hai, but right now I'm not including throw. I'll tell you the same program in different way also. Just let me complete. So if you say here, file not found exception, can I just write here IO exception? Is it okay? Yes. The reason is when you go for IO exception, file not found exception is having the super class as IO exception. Correct? Even if I write here exception, will it be okay? Absolutely okay. The reason is it will be a generic type of catch block, generalized catch block. Perfect. Next point. So, can I say I am working with this scenario? File output stream. I'll copy this and I'll paste it over here. So, can I say when I have written this statement and when I have written this statement, right? As soon as I've written these two statements in my program, right? Can I say this complete connection has been made now? Itna connection ban gaya. Do you all agree? This connection have been established because of this particular line. Are you agreeing with me? Of course, yes. The reason is we have created FOS. FOS is my object. Next, I have said it's a file stream. This is a file output stream. Means I want to go and write the data. But on which data? On the new file path name. What is my data? I've just given the file name as demo.dat because it's binary file. You can give file.dat also. That is absolutely okay. So before writing the contents, it is our duty in our program to establish this connection. And how do we establish this connection? We have made this connection like this. Are we okay? Perfect. Next point. Let us try. I want to write the data. So I'll just declare one data. Byte data is equal to 1, 2, 3. That's my data. I just want to write it. So how do I write it? Obviously, I have to use some functions. So I'll go for file output stream. That's a class. I'll go to methods and there is a function called as write. Can you see? Write byte data, byte array, write integer byte, specified byte to the file on the output screen. Is it static or non-static method? Check this out. Write is a non-static method. So what I need to call this method, object is needed. Which class object I will go for? Obviously, file output stream means can I say I'll write fos.write whatever data I have supplied. Are we okay? Perfect. Next point. Please check once again. In this scenario, write function is throwing which kind of exception? It is throwing IO exception. It comes under which category? Checked or unchecked? It comes under category called as checked or unchecked. It is checked. So do we need to handle that? All right. How do you handle it? You handle it either by writing try and catch or by writing the concept of throws. Correct. Now tell me, is I'm already into the try block? Yes. So why would I write throws again? I will just say add surround with try and catch. So can you see what has happened now? It have taken this try and catch again. Is it okay? Perfect. So just observe. So I've written FOS or try. Let us assume I'm removing this into the try block. And here, I'm taking this catch block over here. Will it be okay? We have written one try block, multiple catch blocks. File not found exception is a subclass of IO exception. Subclass shall come in the catch at the first state. Are we okay? Perfect. Good. Let us say I'll just write a statement, system.out.println. I have written a data and I'm just printing a message to the user. Data is successfully written inside the file. Is the code is understood by everyone? Perfect. Coming back to the next point. Can I say there can be one exception? Byte data is just a variable. You can create any integer data. It's a single byte. Byte is a data type. It occupies one byte. So 123 comes under 1 byte only, right? 256 तक जितने भी डेटा आएंगे वो आपके 1 byte में जाएंगे. So that's okay. Coming back to the next point. If you could observe, can I say there can be the exception onto this FOS? Yes, there can be the exception when the file is not found and you are writing the data. Correct. It means you have created a file object. Maybe you may get the exception. Will it throw the exception? Yes. Will it go in the catch block? Yes. Is my FOS object will always be open? Of course, yes. If it is always be open, is it my duty to close that object whenever it is not in the need? Yes. That means, can I say compulsorily I have to go for the FOS closing? So once again, can I say here, I'll write a finally block where I'll say FOS dot close. Do you agree? Irrespective of the exception that have been occurred in my program, that object must be closed. Let's check once again. Do I have a close method? Yes. Is my close is also throwing the IO exception? Of course, yes. Again, it is saying add a try and catch because it is a checked exception. So could you realize something? Just in the finally block, I want to close the object, but I have to again write a try and catch block because it is a checked exception, no other option for it. Did you all get the line of code? Yes or no? Perfect. Next, let us talk about, so hope you all have understood how we have made this particular diagram connection through the program, right? Let us proceed then. Suppose I want to go for this scenario, right? Let's check. As I'm saying, I want to read the data. So point number 1, which class I would like to go for? I will go for file input stream, FIS. Initially, I'll write null. Let us say I'll import java.io. Now, the question that will come into your mind is, why, ma'am, you are creating the object initially as a null? Why are you not creating the file output stream within the try block itself? The reason over here is, please listen. If I just write here file output stream onto this line number 22, FOS is equal to new this, will it be a local object for the try block? Right. Will I be able to access it into the finally block? Yes or no? Nahi. I hope you have got it, everyone. You might be having a question ki why ma'am is creating it as null and why she is creating the object on the next line. It would be better if she would have created try block here and FOS idhar hi banate the. So why it is so? It is because I am trying to access this FOS outside the try block also in the finally. And if I am creating within the try block, will it throw me the exception that variable is not found? Yes, that will be treated as a local variable. But if I'm creating on line number 18, can I say it is a local variable for the complete method write record? Is it okay? Was this the question in your mind? Yes or no? So why didn't you ask? You should ask. Okay. Good. All right. No one have asked me. Please be away. All right. So let us go ahead. We will go for file input stream FIS is equal to null. Correct? So let us say once again, I'll go for FIS is equal to new file input stream. Here, I'll again say new file bracket में I'll pass path name. The similar kind of a question to everyone over here is why I have created this path name demo.dat outside the scope of write record and the read record. The reason is I have to refer this file name again and again. Instead of me creating the string separately in the write record, separately in the read record, I have created in the global, I have created within the class. दोनों functions में हम उसे use कर सकते हैं. Absolutely perfect. Same is the case with scanner. ठीक है? Perfect. Yes, Kedar, we will come to the point where I will reduce these all lines of code for you. But we are into the first program, so let us go ahead with the flow. Because I cannot directly jump to the program in which you can reduce the lines, right? So I'll just convert it, don't worry. But let me complete this program. Again, file input stream. Let's go to file input stream. It is having methods. Its superclass is abstract class input stream. Let's observe its methods. I have here also close method, close IO, so it means it will throw an IO exception. Next, I have a read method. Can you see? Read a byte of data from this input stream. Okay, so I will use the input stream read method. Let's observe the constructors. Can you see? I am saying file over here. What does it mean? It means that file input stream also takes one file as an argument, right? So I'll just take this. I'll write here new file input stream, new file. But it is saying surround with try and catch. Okay, I have included try, I have included catch, file not found. Perfect. Next point. I want to read the data. Read is a method which is non-static method. It returns some data, maybe integer data, byte data, and so on. So I'll say fis.read. Also, I'll just store it into byte data. Once again, it is saying read. Let's check. Read is throwing IO exception. So is it my duty to write catch block of IO exception also? Yes, of course. It should be written after this try, right? Did you all understand up to this point? Perfect. Next point. I'll just say system.out.println data inside or reading the data from the file. And it will come in, you can see, data. So जो data मैं file में लिख रही हूँ, वही data मुझे यहाँ पे आएगा. Correct. Again, can I say I shall have a finally block also? FIS.close. And obviously, for this, I'll go for add try and catch. Is the flow of the program is understood by everyone? Yes or no? Perfect. Now, everyone, please understand, in this scenario, I have created a file output stream and file input stream. Second, as I've created FOS and FIS on my own, I have written a try catch block and closed those objects. Next point, wherever I am using different functions, those functions, if they are throwing file not found exception or they are throwing IO exception, all these things we have seen using try and catch block. Right? Now, in this case, in this scenario, please understand, whenever you are writing these types of codes, then the line of code is more. Correct? Now, let us first execute the code. I'll execute it. Now, I'm saying option number 0. So for the first time, I'm saying option 0. It means it will go in the while loop. Choice is 0. Will it go in the switch case? Yes or no? No, right? Next point. Next point. Whenever I'm saying here, it has stopped after entering 0. Let us execute once again. Please observe, everyone. Now I'm saying I want to read the record. Please tell me if I have a read record function. Point number 1. Do I have a file for reading currently? It will go to read record method. Perfect. It is creating a file input stream. What's the file name? Demo.dat. But do I have a file in the input stream demo.dat? No, I do not have it. So it will try, if the file is not present, will it go to the catch block and say file not found exception? Let us execute. Can you see? Because we have written e.print stack trace, let us understand. I have tried to read the data from the file on line number 100. Let us check line number 100. Please observe the stack trace. On line number 100, the read record method was being called. It goes to line number 73. Let's go to line number 73. In this, I'm saying FIS.close. When I'm saying FIS.close, it means it is trying to check. It is trying to check that how we are basically performing the job on which kind of the file. Next, in this scenario, here again you observe it is throwing null pointer exception. The reason is automatically it got closed. Once again, please check on line number 100, it went to 56. Line number 100, it is read record. It went to 56. Let's go to line 56. In this case, file input stream class object is created. It goes to file input stream class on line 157. From which file? From file input stream.java file. It goes to file input stream.java file, which is .class file. It tries to open that name. What is the name of the file? Name of the file is your demo, what we have given demo.dat. It will see here, it will go to open function. It is saying open the name file. But can you see when it is going into the open 0 native method, it observe I am unable to open the file. What exception it is throwing? It is throwing file not found exception. File input stream dot class file में file not found exception throw हुआ है जो मैंने यहाँ पे catch किया है. Have you all understood how your program is getting executed? I think my voice is breaking. Just give me a second. I'll check the speed. It just got unstable. Just hold on. Oh, it is very less today. ठीक. But is my voice is clear? Is my voice is clear now? Perfect. ठीक है. So let us go ahead. So did you understand why? Right. That's what. Did you understand why it gave me the exception? Everyone? So when it goes to file input stream, it goes to the file input stream.class file. If tries to open the file name, when it tries to open the file name, अगर उसके पास file है ही नहीं, तो break, वो obviously it is going to throw file not found exception. That's why this line, when I have tried to go for file input stream class, new, it tries to open this file. I do not have the file. It is throwing file not found exception. Did you understand, everyone? फाइल है ही नहीं तो वो रीड कैसे करेगा? दैट इज हाउ इट इज. Is it okay? Is it okay? Okay. Byte is also one data type. It's one data type. Right? ठीक. Let us execute one more time. I'm now saying I want to write the record. I'll say write the record. Can you see it is saying data is successfully written inside the file? Yes. Now how to check it? I'll refresh. Can you see demo.dat file is created? Right. If you want to see here, day 14 underscore 1 file demo.txt, which is just created at 9:53. When you open this, you may receive something as curly brackets. Can you understand this for the content? No, because it is which type of a file? It's a binary file. Are we okay? Right. Next, I'm writing I want to read the record. I'll say 2. Can you see I am reading the data from the file? Whatever I have written, I have fetched it and now I'm pressing 0 for exit. Could you understand? Binary files जो भी रहती है आप उसे ओपन करके ह्यूमन रीडेबल फॉर्मेट में नहीं रहती, सो आप उसको ओपन करके देख नहीं सकते हो, बट आई विद द हेल्प ऑफ प्रोग्राम यू कैन ऑलवेज रीड दीज टाइप्स ऑफ फाइल्स. All right, perfect. Right, you can write anything. During FOS FIS we first initialize to null. Right, पहले आपने null लिखा इसलिए वो null pointer exception दिया था. Right, 1 2 3 के अलावा कुछ और भी आप लिख सकते हो. It's a byte data, 1 byte. Right, I want everyone try look into the code for you. I'll wait. Yes. Right. New file input stream, new file path. Yes, Prajot. This line created the file. This line have created this connection. ये connection बना. क्योंकि FOS is file output stream. It takes one parameter as file object and new file कहा तो ये file बनेगा. इस file में से जाके operation perform करेगा. That's how it is. Okay. So, if you can, how did you recognize this? Let me just copy these 2 lines on the diagram. You have created file input stream and you have said this. Correct? Because of this connection have been made. ये ऐसा क्यों हुआ? It is because, as everyone knows, there are 2 constructors. I'll just save it first. FOS, FIS. As everyone knows, every class is having its own constructors. Correct? So, I'll just copy the 2 constructors so that you will understand. In your, somewhere I'll go to file class. I'll go to constructor. This is the constructor. I'll copy this. Correct? Next, I'll go to file input and file output stream. File output stream takes one constructor. And similarly, file input stream takes one constructor. Are we okay? Now, please listen carefully, everyone. When I want to read and write a single byte, तो हम कौन से class का object बनाते हैं? I need answers. When I want to read and write a single byte of data on the binary file, तो which class file object that we create? कौन से class का object बनाते हैं? I need answers. Yesterday I've spent approximately 1 hour onto this point. When I want to read the data in one single byte from the binary file, so which class you go for? You go for file input stream. Means can I say I have to create the object of file input stream? Right. So I shall write file input stream FIS is equal to new file input stream. Will it create the object of the file input stream class? Do you all agree? Right. Whenever you create the object of this class, I have not passed any parameters. तो कौन सा constructor call होता है? Default constructor call होता है. But please check, do I have any default constructor over here? No, I do not have. So which constructors I have? Either you go from the file or you take a file descriptor or you take a string name. So when I'm saying I am passing one file, so I hope now you have understood why I've passed this. Whenever I have used new file input stream, bracket में I'm passing new file path name. What is this new file path name? It is nothing but a file object that we have created. Can I say like this? Internally, this is going to this constructor. Yes or no? Is there a doubt still? Because एक प्रोग्राम नहीं समझ में आया, आगे के प्रोग्राम्स नहीं समझ में आएंगे. I hope you are okay. Right. If the object is created, then why we have not got a file not found exception? It is because, Prajot, you have created a file input stream. Input stream means it is going to read the data. You have not even written the data. You are not having a file. How can you read it? That's why it is giving file not found exception. Let me try once again. I'll delete this demo.dat file. Right? I'll execute this code once again. Please check. I am giving point number 2. I'm not having the file. How can I read it from here? That's why it is file not found exception. Then I'm saying, let me write the file. I've written the content. I have read the content. I'm exiting from the program. Is it working fine? पहले आपको डेटा राइट करना पड़ेगा, बाद में आप रीड कर सकते हो ना. Perfect. Good. Right. Guys, please observe. In the last lecture, I have explained you this point. Someone is asking, it works on only byte. I hope you remember the 4 cases. Do you all remember these 4 cases? Which case we are going for now? First, second, third or fourth? First. इसलिए तो हमने file input and file output लिखा ना? Are you okay? Perfect. Again, someone is saying, file not found exception कब आया? जब आपके पास फाइल नहीं है तो फाइल नॉट फाउंड एक्सेप्शन जाएगा. अगेन समवन इज आस्किंग, आईओ एक्सेप्शन कब आएगा? जब आपके पास फाइल क्रिएट ही नहीं हो रही है, आपके डिस्क में स्पेस नहीं है, तो आईओ एक्सेप्शन आएगा. आर वी ओके? राइट. आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस पॉइंट? yesterday I've explained you all these things. I've spent lot of time onto this. अभी कुछ समझ में आया? Why this program we have written in this way? I'll just open this file. Somewhere this one. Guys, you need to do some kind of revision. The reason is you will not understand the next points. So please understand. I'll just open this in a minute. I'll copy the contents. All right. Now, please understand. In this scenario, first question to all of you. When I'm using file input stream, correct? Then how many parameters it is taking? Constructor कितने parameters ले रहा है? How can you say 2? Guys, it is 1. I hope there is no comma. Shall I zoom it more? Right. 1 parameter. Perfect. Now, if it is taking 1 parameter, it is of which type? Of file type. Is it taking a reference? Right. Reference किसे point करेगा? किसी न किसी फाइल को point करेगा. Do you agree? फाइल ऑब्जेक्ट को point करेगा, तभी तो मैं reference दे सकती हूँ. Correct. Means can I say, if I want to say file input stream FIS is equal to new file input stream FOBJ, can I say this is nothing but one file reference? And can I say this is actually treated as file and file? Whatever is your constructor is. Do you all agree? Perfect. Next, what is FOBJ? FOBJ कौन से टाइप का रेफरेंस है? फाइल टाइप का है, तो FOBJ कहाँ पे पॉइंट करना चाहिए? It should point to the new file path name. क्योंकि हम फाइल ऑब्जेक्ट कैसे बनाएंगे? New file. What is path name? Can I say this is the string file name? Do you all agree? तो अगर मैं स्ट्रिंग फाइल नेम पास करती हूँ तो मेरे पास फाइल नेम है क्या? नहीं, तो मैंने उसके पहले एक स्टेटमेंट लिखा है, प्लीज क्रिएट वन स्ट्रिंग विच इज हैविंग द नेम एज test.dat. आर वी ओके? Perfect. So if I am saying, please observe file input stream FIS, file input stream FIS, new file input stream as it is. इस f obj के जगह पे if I'm just replacing it with a new file path name, and if I'm representing path name is test.dat, is it one and the same thing? Yes. So that's what I have done. I hope now you have understood. The one who have asked me, दो बार new क्यों use किया? So that I can save 3 lines of code I've written in 1 line. Correct? Because file input stream takes one object of file, so I have to pass file object. Okay? All right. Shall we go ahead? Shall we go ahead? Are you guys awake? Perfect. So can you see here also? Here also I've done the same thing. New file input stream taking file object. What is file object? It is new file path name. What is path name? It is test.data. I've combined this by writing new file output stream, new file, and test.data. I don't think so. There is still a confusion now. Are we okay? Please post understood into the chat box so that I can proceed. Got it. Shall I proceed? All right. Now, let us go ahead and understand. In this scenario, we have tried to write a try and catch. We have tried to write a, you can say, finally block, and so on. Now, I want to avoid writing multiple try and catch blocks. I want to go for something called as throws. Also, if you can easily observe into this case, the functions were given a call from the main. यहाँ पे कोई भी exception handle नहीं किया. The reason is we have tried to handle the exception within the function itself, and that's the reason we have written try and catch. Right? I'll create an exact copy of this code. Someone's calling. Anyways, I'll create a copy of this code. I'll paste it. 14_2. I'll close this project. Rather, I'll delete this demo.dat file. I'll refactor and rename. Perfect. Now, let us say we will go for similar kind of a scenario. I'll start from main, let us say. We will have a menu list function. We will have write record and the read record functions. But I'll go to the write record function. I'll just remove this functionality. I do not want to go for reading and write finally and so on. Read record and so on. Correct. Now, when I'm saying I have the same requirement, I want to read and write a single byte into the file, but I want to go for a try block handler. So when to go for a try block handler? It is basically when the resource goes out of the scope, when I do not need that resource, my try block will try to close that object. So how to write a try block handler? There's a syntax. You should remember that syntax, and there is no other option for it. I'll write a try block handler. Whenever you write a try block handler, please make sure you write the try keyword, you write open and close brackets. Next point. I want to create write record here, the object of file output stream. So I'll say file output stream, FOS is equal to new file output stream, and inside the bracket, new file, inside the bracket, I'll pass path name. I'll give semicolon. Can you please observe, is this the same syntax that I have shown you few minutes ago? Only the thing was, there I have separated the things, here I have merged the things. Perfect. The reason I have not created FOS prior to its use, मैंने null भी क्यों नहीं declare किया? It is because I am passing a complete resource within the try block. Why I am passing this complete resource? So that whenever this resource is not being used, it should get closed on its own. Second point, why I have passed this resource? Because even if the exception have occurred, even if the exception do not occur, the resource will be closed once it will come out of the loop. So in this scenario, it is not required to write a finally block. Have you understood? So अगर मैं finally block नहीं लिखती हूँ, is my line of code around 5 to 6 lines of a code is getting reduced? Of course, yes. Next point. In the try block, I'll just write opening and closing brackets. Now, here I'll say FOS.write. Maybe I'm just passing some data. Maybe I'll say 456. Now, everyone knows that whenever you are using file output stream, you can write try and catch. Or another option is add a throws declaration. So can I say I'll add a throws declaration? Can you see it has added a throws declaration? File not found an IO exception? Yes. Why it has added IO exception? Because write may throw the IO exception. Correct? Now, in this scenario, if you're using a try block handler, can you see I have not even written a catch block? Why I have not written a catch block? It is because who is the caller of the program? Write record. Is my write record is going to handle these exceptions on its own? Yes, because I've used the throws keyword. This is called as delegation. Are we okay? Are we okay? Yes or no? Perfect. Next point. Next point. Listen carefully. In this case, if you are using a try block handler, there is no requirement to write a catch block. क्योंकि try and catch का syntax क्या रहता है? You write a try, and then you give curly brackets, you write the code, and then you write a catch. This is how you go for. But have I written try with opening and closing brackets? Yes, but in this case, can you see here? Try with some handler. So in this case, even if you specify the catch block, that is also okay. But if you do not go for catch block, that is also fine because your write record may throw file not found exception. And whenever any exception is thrown, by default, it goes into the print stack trace function. Are we okay? Correct. Just hold on. I'll say in the read record, I'll go for a try block handler, file input stream, FIS is equal to new file input stream. And I'm saying, maybe I'll pass some number as 135. Here, I'll say new file path name. Will you please tell me, in this scenario, we have used a file input stream. Somewhere there's a spelling mistake. Yeah, in file handling, always the class names. We need to be more alert. Okay. So I'll add a throws declaration. Added a throws declaration. Here, I'll say, maybe I can say FIS.read. It returns the data in the int format. I'm converting into a byte format, type conversion, and I'm just storing into a byte data. So here, I'll say system.out.println data read from the file is equal to, maybe I'll say data. And maybe after writing, I can put a message over here. Data is written successfully in the file. Correct. So, can you realize something? Is the code line is drastically reduced? So, did you understand the need of try block handler now? And that's why I have told you, Majorly, when you are dealing with the resources, what is resource? It can be a file, it can be a scanner stream, it can be input stream, output stream, and so on. In those scenarios, we normally go for a try block handler so that if the resource goes out of the scope, it should get deallocated. That is what it should get closed, and that duty is done by try block handler. So is it worth to use a try block handler in these types of programs? Of course, yes. It's reducing line of code. Perfect. Good. Now listen very carefully. The code is correct, but still it is giving some two errors. Let's see where the error is. It is giving me the error on write record and read record. Please observe. Write record function, is it throwing any kind of exception? Yes or no? Yes. So, have I handled it inside this using try and catch? Answer is no. What I have said, if the write function is called, the function may throw IO exception, or the function may throw this particular functionality may throw file not found exception. I have not handled it during the program development writing try and catch block, but I have used a throws keyword which says that caller of the program will handle it. Who is giving a call to the write record? Main is giving a call to the write record. Is my main is handling the IO exception, a file not found exception? No, and that's the reason it is giving me unhandled exception. So it is saying either surround with try and multicatch, or surround with try and catch, or add a throws declaration. Here also, who is the caller of a read record? Main is the caller of a read record. Is my read record is throwing some exception using throws? Yes. Have I handled it? No. So main should handle it. That is why we say throws is a keyword which is used for delegation of exception. What do you mean by delegation? It means you are giving your task to someone else to perform that job. So whoever is the caller of the program, everyone has to write a throws statement. That is called as delegating. I'll say here, add a throws declaration. Is the exception is handled now? I'll save it. Error is gone. Perfect. Now, let us execute this code once again. I have said 0 initially. It will exit, right? We'll execute once again. I'm saying, let me read the record. Do I have a file called as demo.dat? No. So read record is going to throw me one exception. If read record is going to throw me one exception, let us check what is the exception. Please check. It is giving me the exception. It is printing the print stack trace. On line number 53, let's see what is line number 53. It is saying read record. Okay, there is an error on read record. It goes to line number 28. It's going to line number 28. It is saying, I'm trying to input stream path name. What's the path name? Demo.dat. It is saying, I'll go to file input stream. It goes to the file input stream class. It sees open the name. What is that file name? Demo.dat. I try to use it using open function. It goes to the open function. But at this moment, the string name is not available. So it is throwing which exception? File not found exception. Can you see? Here it is saying system cannot find the file specified. That means here it is throwing one exception, file not found exception. Have you understood how the stack trace is being displayed to you? Right? Let us execute once again. Exception आया, application is terminated. Now I'm saying write the record. Data is written successfully. Let's check. I'll refresh it. Demo.dat file is created in 14_2. Let's go to 14_2. Demo.dat file is created. It is at 10:24. When you open it, I'm not able to understand what it is because it's the data file. It's a binary file, but I can read it through the program. I'll just say 2. Can you see? It is giving some data which is -121. The reason is 135 is not maybe a byte data. So I can pass maybe 1, 2, 3 and so on. Let's check. So I'll write the record, read the record. It is working fine. Maybe it is going beyond the range, that's why. Have you all understood up to this point? All right. Perfect. How can we use throws keyword here? See, यहाँ पे आपने थ्रोज कीवर्ड यूज किया है, थ्रो कीवर्ड आप यहाँ पे यूज नहीं कर रहे हो. If you really would like to write a throw keyword, that means if you really want to throw your own type of exception, तो आपको एक क्लास क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा, राइट? अगर आपको वो क्लास क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा, तो व्हाट इज दैट क्लास? यूजर डिफाइंड क्लास who extends the, you can say, throws. Are you okay? Perfect. Right. How write works? Write basically works on the file which you have supplied, writing the data. Is it okay? Is it okay? Perfect. I'll wait here. I want you all to please look into the code. Is it okay? Can I wait? I'm going through the code. If it is done, just let me know. Because if you understand this, then you can easily go ahead with the other programs. Right. Exception is passed to handle. Right. So if you can see here, it is throwing one exception. It is going into the read record. It will see there is file not found exception. Main से exception throw हुआ है. Is it okay? All right. All right. See, Pratiksha, if you go for throws must be written everywhere whoever is calling the program. Please tell me, write जो function है, write function, correct? Write और read, वो कॉल कौन कर रहा है? रीड रिकॉर्ड. इसलिए मैंने यहाँ पे थ्रोज लिखा. रीड रिकॉर्ड एंड राइट रिकॉर्ड को कॉल कौन कर रहा है? मेन. तो मेन के आगे लिखा. So throws always used in case of delegation. If you only write throws here, that will not work. Right. Prajot, if you are not writing throws over here in front of main, you can always go for try and catch. It is either or. Got it? In case of main which handle the exception, please see the throws keyword is used when the caller of the program has to handle it. So I have called read record. Read record will go into the function read record. It will see I want to read the file, but I do not have a file which you have specified. So it is throwing one exception, file not found. Do I have a catch block to handle it? No, it is throwing once again file not found exception. This is called as rethrowing the exception. But to whom it will throw the exception? From wherever I have given a call. From where I have given a call, from the main I have given a call. Is my main is having any catch block for file not found? No. In that case, it will see there is a throws file not found exception. If I do not have a matching catch block, definitely it will just try to use a print stack trace method. That's how the flow is now. Okay? Right. FIS.read always returns a int value. So int to byte, this is the conversion. जैसे आप narrowing, widening, typecasting conversion करते हो, same case I'm doing over here, Aditya. Okay. Can we have a custom message for throws exception? Please listen. When you are saying custom message for throws exception, you can have it. You can write a catch block. You can have a try and catch block. That also can be possible. या फिर you can have something, you can say, maybe you can have a user defined catch block. Is it okay? All right. Good. Any other doubts that you have? Shall we go ahead? Shall we go ahead? जब भी आपको कस्टम मैसेज देना है तो ट्राई एंड कैच ब्लॉक लिखिए। अगर आपको कस्टम एक्सेप्शन थ्रो करना है तो आप खुद का एक क्लास बनाइए। बोथ पॉसिबल combinations are there. Okay, did you all understand the first program? Perfect. Shall I go ahead? We'll write the second program. All right. What if we pass data in alphabet and number combination? So, Onkar, I hope you remember this particular thing. Do you remember this? Are we working with only the first category of a program right now? Are you awake? Have I moved to the second, third, and fourth? No. Did you revise? Can you see? We have just written a single character. तो हमने ये classes use किए. Now I want multiple characters. अभी कुछ समझ में आया? Then I'll go for which class? Buffered reader and buffered writer. ठीक है? Okay. ठीक. Shall I go ahead in the second case? ठीक है. Let us go ahead then. I'll copy this. I'll paste it. Are you getting the things properly? Whatever I'm explaining? I'm trying to make it easy for you with the help of diagrams. Hope it is understood. कोई भी confusion है क्या previous program में? Is there any still confusion is there? No. Shall I proceed? Let's talk about multiple types. Yes, Shubhanshu, whatever doubt you have, please post it quickly. Okay. Yes, I have unmuted you. Quickly, let me get it resolved. There? Are you there?
मैम आई हैव वन डाउट कि मैम जो रीड कर रहे हैं उस फंक्शन में जाइए एक बार
14_2, right? Yes, read record.
मैम यहाँ लाइन नंबर 28 पे एक फाइल क्रिएट तो हो रही है, न्यू फाइल पाथ नेम, जो ये कंस्ट्रक्टर के थ्रू।
Right.
तो मैम जब रीड करने की फाइल को कोशिश कर रहे हैं, हमने लिखा कुछ नहीं है फाइल में, बट स्टिल वी हैव क्रिएटेड द फाइल, तो वो एरर क्यों दे रहा है?
Still you have created, when you say new file path name, does it see, is it basically taking a reference? File input stream reference लेता है.
यस मैम.
Reference में जब तक आपने new file path name, when you say new file path name, it is creating anonymous object.
यस मैम.
Is it pointed by some reference?
मैम ऊपर पाथ नेम हमने क्रिएट तो किया है ना, स्ट्रिंग के फॉर्म में नेम दिया है.
See, when you are saying at this moment, it is, if you see here, file input stream का property क्या है? For reading purpose.
Yes,
right? Even though you have created a file, you have not, you have basically, when you are saying new file path name, it is just a file name which is created anonymously. Are you getting? अगर आप इस new file path name को इस लोकेशन पे लिखते थे और FOBJ लिखते थे और यहाँ पे FOBJ पास करते थे तो ये बराबर से वर्क होता था. The reason is file input stream is basically trying to read from the file if it is existing. ठीक है, listen carefully. If you see here read throws the IO exception. अगर मेरे पास यहाँ पे IO exception क्यों लिखा उसने? The reason is अगर सपोज उसने फाइल भी क्रिएट किया रहेगा बट उसके पास फाइल अवेलेबल ही नहीं है करंट डायरेक्टरी में, तो वो इनपुट स्ट्रीम मींस व्हाट? द थिंग्स मस्ट बी देयर ऑन द इनपुट स्ट्रीम. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज थ्रोइंग द एक्सेप्शन फाइल नॉट फाउंड. Means in short, when you are creating a new file over here, when you are saying new file path name, new file demo.dat, it is not creating the file. It is just creating one object which is pointing to that file. Are you getting? अगर आपको थोड़ा सा कंसेप्ट कल का याद रहेगा तो हमने फाइल को क्रिएट करने के लिए क्रिएट न्यू फाइल ऐसा एक मेथड लिखा था. यस और नो?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So in this case, when you want to create a new file, in that case, first जब output stream बोलते हो तो it automatically creates the file. जब input stream बोलते हो अगर फाइल नहीं है तो वो खुद से create नहीं करता है. This is what it is written in the functionality.
ओके
Are
मैम,
you
मैम
getting?
यही डाउट था कि ये फाइल क्रिएट क्यों नहीं कर रहा है यहाँ पर। यस मैम,
By
गॉट इट।
see this. It is by opening a connection to the actual file. But if the file object is not there, if the file है ही नहीं, so it throws the exception. So can you see? It is check read method is called when the represented by the file argument as its argument. So यहाँ पे वो check read करता है. If the file name does not exist, is a directory rather than a regular file, then also it will say file not open. It is mentioned in the file input stream. But let's see, in the file output stream, it is mentioned it creates a file output stream to write a file represented by the specified file. If there is a security, there's a check write method is called, which is basically it will just create the file first and then write it. Are you okay?
यस
Have
मैम।
you understood now?
यस मैम।
Perfect. Good. Prathamesh, have you understood now? Means जो file output stream है, file को check करता है. If it is there, then okay, it overrides it. If it is not there, it will first create it and write it. जैसे आपका append function रहता था C में. And if you say file input stream, it just checks the file name. If the file is not present, directly it will say, I cannot read the content. Perfect. Good. So let us proceed. I hope you all have understood up to this point. Got it now. Perfect. So let us talk about reading and writing multiple bytes in the file. I have to go for buffered input stream and buffered output stream. Please understand, everyone, the connection that you have to make is this connection. Means, can I say, first I have to create a file, then I have to write file output stream, then I'll say buffered output stream, and then I will write inside the Java application. In the reverse side, I have to read it from the file. I need a file input stream and then buffered input stream, because file input stream and file output stream, they can only directly communicate with your file for reading and writing. Ultimately, the data is written in the form of one byte only. But when you are using a buffer is simply kind of a temporary storage area. So if you want to write multiple bytes, if you keep them into a buffer से वो file output stream के पास जाएगा, file output stream से वो file के पास जाएगा. And when you say BIS, in that case, it will be kept into the buffer and it will come to your application. So what is the need of buffered input stream and output stream? It is basically used to speed up the process. That's it. That is how your buffered output stream works. Right? Now, I'll close all these. I'll go to buffered input stream and buffered output stream. Let us check. When you say buffered output stream, see the constructors. Is it taking any output stream object? Can you see this? तो अब ऑप्शन क्या है? आउटपुट स्ट्रीम में फाइल में लिखना है ना, तो आउटपुट स्ट्रीम में मुझे फाइल आउटपुट स्ट्रीम लिखना पड़ेगा. डू यू अग्री? राइट. चेक दिस आउट. बफर्ड इनपुट स्ट्रीम कंस्ट्रक्टर चेक कीजिए. इज इट टेकिंग एनी इनपुट स्ट्रीम? Yes, it is taking input stream. So how do I change the program? Very easy. Please observe. I'm saying I want to write the record. I'll remove this try block. Hold on. We will go for a try block handler only. But here, I will say try block handler. Please make sure when you write a try block handler, give the opening and closing bracket first. Otherwise, it will create a confusion. Next, I would like to go for buffered output stream. So I'll say buffered output stream, BOS is the object, new buffered output stream. This is how we create object. Do you all agree? Yes or no? So I will just import, change to buffered output stream, java.io. Somewhere I've done any mistake in the spelling. Buffered output stream. Output stream. Perfect. But when you say buffered in output stream, does it take a constructor as some output stream? Correct. So can I say if I write new output stream, will it be okay? Will it be okay? No. क्योंकि output stream abstract class है. तो यहाँ पे मुझे लिखना पड़ेगा file output stream. Again, file output stream takes one argument. of type file, can I say I have to write new file and the path name? Did you all understand? How did I make a connection over here? Perfect. Next point. I'm saying I want to write multiple bytes. Maybe I'll say for character ch is equal to a. I want to say ch is less than equal to z, and I want to write ch plus plus. And maybe I'll say bos dot write function, and I'll say ch. Is it throwing IO exception? Yes, it is thrown. If it is thrown, it is handled using throws clause. Have you understood how we have tried to make this particular connection? The contents or the rest, all the things will be exactly the same. I'll just copy this line and I'll copy this line for your reference. Are you all okay with this point? So, when I have written a new file path name, तो ये file होगा. When I am saying new file output stream, तो ये FOS create होगा. When I'm saying new buffered output stream, तो ये connection will be made. And when I'm saying this buffered output stream object, it is created using Java application. Are you okay? Why I've passed new twice? Perfect. Next. Same is the case over here. Here, I'll copy the same. I'll just write try. When I want to read the record, I'll say buffered input stream, PIS, correct, is equal to new buffered input stream inside the bracket. Can you please tell me what shall I write? New file input stream. And inside the bracket, I'll write new file path name. Could you try to understand this, everyone? तो can you imagine, अगर यहाँ पे try block handler नहीं रहता था, तो मुझे fos.close, bis.close, 2 बार close method लिखना पड़ता था. It would have increased the line of statements. That's the reason I'm using try block handler. Now, I'm writing integer data. Here comes the logic. While I'll say data is equal to bis.read. एक data जाएगा. And I want to check if it is not equal to -1. What does it indicate? It indicates that once I will read the data, it will go in the data. -1 indicates end of the file. I'll just say system.out.print and maybe I'll put the data. But this data will come in the numeric format because read always gives me the data in integer. I'm converting into character. So here I'll write plus and some space. Let us try to execute this code. If you say write to the record and I'll just say 1, the file has been created. I've not put a message. You can put a message. Can you see demo.dat file? Right. Let's check. 14_3 demo.dat. It's a binary file. And if you can open it, it will show you some random data along with this. I cannot read this directly. I have to read it through program. I'll say 2. And can you see it is giving me some output which is being written? But why it is giving me this much data? CH is less than equal to, somewhere I've written some wrong condition. Maybe I can write plus CH. Yeah, it's small letters. All right. Now let us check. Suppose right now my file has been created. Correct? I'll just say 0 for exit. I'll say executed. Right now file already present है demo.txt. But जब मैं write record फिर से करती हूँ, तो check this. Is it getting overwritten? Yes, it is getting overwritten. I hope you all have understood up to this point. Everyone, any more doubts? So that's why I've spent an initial 1 hour only on to making you understand how to write a program for reading and writing. But now, can you imagine we have tried to write a similar kind of a program in just next 5 to 10 minutes. Is it okay? Perfect. Any doubts so far? All right. -1. So let us understand. This is the logic that we have applied. BIS.read will read one data. It will put it into the data. So let us say letter character A has come into it. So data में पहले A जाएगा. Is my A is not equal to -1? Yes. So it will print the data called as capital A. Again, it will go ahead on its own like a file pointer. You do not have to worry about it. It will point to the letter B. If B, yes, it will go into the data. Is it not equal to -1? Yes. So it will print B and so on. -1 indicates end of the file. EOF. So till whenever I'll reach to the end of the file, it will be -1. So it will not print the data. It will come out of the while loop, and that's how I am performing the job. Is it okay? I'll wait, look into the code so that we can take a break. So, and after the break, we will see the third scenario of this. I will just copy this and I'll write a statement for you. So that when you will revise, तो आपको ये connection कैसे बनता है वो याद रहेगा. Right. There are other, you can say, you can append, but in that case, you have to check some few more conditions, sort of. But by default, when you say write, it opens in the same way where you can just go for overwriting. It will not append it. Then maybe you can use some other options and you can see some append functionality. That's how it is. Okay. Done. Perfect. So shall we first take a break and then we can go ahead with data input stream and output stream in continuation with the same way, same code. All right. So I'll pause here. Everyone, could you go through the code? Let me just create a copy of the project. I'll paste it. Let us rename this. Right. Are you guys there? Shall we continue? Perfect. So let us go ahead and you can say the next point, reading and writing data in the binary file. But now I want to read and write, you can say primitive types. Now, when you say I want to read and write primitive type of data, then you have data input stream and data output stream. So how it proceeds, how it works, let us observe. Here I have data input stream. Here I have data output stream. We will go for a try block handler. But whenever you are working with data input stream or data output stream, now you have one option. The first option is directly you can use data output stream and FOS. But what happens in this scenario is data output stream may have multiple number of bytes. If you go through FOS, the process will be a little bit slower. The reason is when I'm saying file output stream, it writes the data byte by byte. So in between, if I use a buffered output stream, in that case, my data will be stored into the buffer and then it will be given one after the another to FOS. So how the flow of the creation of object will be, I'll have a file, I'll try to have a writing of the file on by using FOS. I will use a buffer, so I'll have a DOS and then I'll have a DOS, which is data output stream. So here, let us observe DOS, that is data output stream and data input stream. Correct? Now let's observe data input stream is having constructor which takes some input stream. So what can be that input stream? We will say buffered input stream, internally file input stream, and then the file. And if you could observe data output stream, this helps you to write the primitive Java data types on the output stream. This helps you to have, you can say, primitive type of data, Java data types from the input stream. So data output stream is having constructors. Constructor may you have one constructor called as output stream. So how we will create data output stream object? Maybe DOS is equal to new DOS, inside that bracket, new FOS, inside that bracket, new file. Have you understood how the object creation will go for? Perfect. Now, next point. If you could see in data output stream, then I have some methods. The methods are something called as write. The write will write one in the data. So if I want to write some integer data, I can just write or I can use write method, or there is something called as write int, which can take integer value. If I want to write float, I will just pass float value. If I want to pass string, I have two options. One, use write characters, and there is something called as write UTF, and which is nothing but string str. Next, when you say data input stream, I have methods. Here I have read float, read char, read double, read int, and read UTF, which gives me the string format. So when I have direct, straightforward primitive data types, I have to use easier class, that is data output stream and the data input stream, right? So we will go ahead in writing the similar kind of a program. We'll have a menu list. We will write the function read record and write record. In this case, I'm saying, I'll just try to remove this, correct? We will write a try block, correct, as a try block handler. I want to write the data, so I will go for data output stream. So I'll use data output stream, DOS is equal to new data output stream. Perfect. Next one. I have to import java.io.data output stream and so on. Next, when we talk about data output stream, it takes any output stream as a parameter while creating the object. So here, I'll pass new, then buffered output stream. So in this case, if you see, buffered output stream once again takes new file output stream, which will take once again new file, and I'll say path name. Is the syntax and the usage of classes is understood by everyone. So I'll just make this font small so that you can easily understand how this connection is made. Are we okay? When I'm saying new file, so this file has been created. When I'm saying new FOS, so this object has been created. When I'm saying new buffered output stream, this object has been created. And when I'm saying new data output stream, so this object has been created. Did you all understand how we have tried to create an object, right? So when I'm saying I have three different datas, maybe name, maybe not name, actually it's string, then integer value, and maybe you want to pass some float data. So how it will go? It will first go to data output stream. From data output stream, we'll go to buffered output stream. From buffered output, FOS. From FOS, it is going to write on the file. So I have three different datas to be written. I can use dos.writeUTF. I will pass the name. dos.writeInt. Maybe I'll pass this. dos.writeFloat. Maybe I'll pass some data. That's it. In this case, it is going to write the record on the output stream on the file, which is your demo.data file. Next, here, instead of reading the record, let us observe everywhere instead of input stream, output stream, which class I shall go for? I shall go for input stream. So here, please observe data input stream. I'll just add it. Next, data input stream. Next, buffer input stream. New file input stream and file path name. Have you all understood how we can go for this? Everyone, right? Now in my file, the data is present in three formats, one after the another. I know I have written the first data as string, second data as integer, third data as float. So how do I fetch it? I'll say, here I'll create dis, any object name. dis.readUTF. This is going to return me one string. So I'll just say string name is equal to. Next, I'm saying I want to go for fetching the int value. So I'll say dis.readInt. It is going to fetch an integer value. Maybe I'll put it into integer age. And I am saying read float, dis.readFloat. It is going to fetch it and put it into the float value. Let us say I'll put it into float salary. So I have got three datas coming from the file, storing into this data. I'm just trying to print it. Name is equal to plus name. Age is equal to plus age. And salary is equal to plus salary. I'll make a space. UTF is Unicode character set format, and UTF is the standard, you can say, set of characters. जैसे आपका Unicode character set था, तो उसे कौन follow करता है? आपका UTF. So you can have a UTF kind of a function. It's a function named readUTF. See this, readUTF. Right? UTF-8 representation, exactly same as readUTF, and it basically goes for UTF-8 format. So can you see here, UTF-8 format is data input stream and output stream. They work with this format. 8 indicates 8 bytes, so हर एक byte का उसने explanation दिया है. Is it okay? So it is just like data representation format. Okay? Perfect. Now, let us try to see here data input stream, data output stream, buffered input stream, buffered output stream. All these header files are included into your program, right? Right now, I'm not having any file. So let us first execute this code. And let's say I'm going to write the record. The data is written. Let me just refresh this. You can see somewhere we are, let's see, I'm reading the record. It's still saying file not found. Let me check. New file, new path name, file and path name. Just a second. It is 1 and 2. You have entered 3. No, I've given 2. Read record. I'm sorry. So it is write record. I'm sorry. And then read record. Yeah. So I've entered the wrong input. Let me refresh it. The file is created and the data has been read. You can check here in 14_4, the file has been created, but when you open it, you will not be able to read it because it's a binary data and I am reading it through program. Did you all get how we have made the sequence? Yes or no? Are we okay? Perfect. Good. So, any doubts so far? Any doubts so far? Look into the code. If you have any queries, please do ask. Meanwhile, I'll just take this document, this diagram from this document, paste it over here, and how we have made this connection of objects, I'll just copy this for your reference in future. Just take all right. So here also you can observe new file. It is pointing to this file. New file input stream will create anonymous object, which is file input stream object. Then you have new buffered input stream. So it will create anonymous object of buffer input stream. And you have new data input stream will create data input stream, right? And that's what is basically your DOS and DIS. Are you understanding how we have tried to make these connections and why it is the requirement to go for it? Are we okay? I'll wait here. If it is done, just post done into the chat box and understood, whatever. Meanwhile, I'll create a new project. All right. Is it done? Shall I wait? All right. I think we should go ahead. Good. Now, are you guys there? Shall we go ahead? The next concept. Correct. If yes, I hope I'm audible to you all. Are you guys there? Or are you trying? You guys are there, audible, and you're trying? Or shall I proceed? Proceed. Perfect. So, if you can just recollect, we have seen, just a second, this part, correct? So we have seen the first, second, and third, all the three programs, right? Any doubts in the first three programs? Shall I go to the fourth one? Correct. So we have seen if I want to go for a single character, we write file input or file output normally. If you want to write multiple files, you can go for multiple characters, then we can go for buffered input and buffered output. If you want to go for primitive, then we can go for data input stream and data output stream. Similarly, if you want to go for non-primitive type of data, when you say non-primitive type of data, we have object input stream and object output stream. So when I say non-primitive, now let us understand the requirement. So requirement is create a class, maybe you can create an employee class, right? Next, create an array list of employee class, right? So can you create up to this point? You can create an employee class, you can create an array list of employee class. Do you agree? Right. Or let us say create an object of employee class. We will go one by one. Correct? So can you create an object of employee class? Yes. Now I want to read the object and I want to write the object in the file and here from the file. Have you all understood the requirement of a program? It means till this point हम एक डेटा प्रोग्राम में ही डिक्लेयर कर रहे थे, वहां से फाइल में रीड कर रहे थे या राइट कर रहे थे. Or we have seen primitive types like using data input stream. We have used read and write function. But now I want to have a class which is having where we have some object. I want to write the object into the file and I want to read the object from the file. Correct? So for this, we need two classes, object output stream and object input stream. Correct? Next, listen very carefully. When I say writing the object in the file or writing the state of the object in the file or reading the state of the object from the file. State means what? Let us assume I have one employee class having some name, EMP ID and salary. Name is Akshita, EMP ID is 123, salary is let us say 60. So in this scenario, I want to write these three fields that is called as a state of the object inside the file. So for that, I'll go for object output stream. Next, when I say I want to read it from the file, I'll say object input stream. यहाँ तक समझ में आया? Everyone? Perfect. Now, listen carefully. When you are writing the object in the file, that process is called as serialization. And when you are trying to read the state of the object from the file, that process is called as deserialization. Have you understood what is serialization? What is deserialization? Whenever you have any object, if you try to write that object in the file, that process is called as serialization. And if you are trying to perform reading the object from the file, that process is called as deserialization. Have you understood up to this point? Is it okay? Yes or no? So let us understand. State means, for example, I have an employee object, EMP, having three fields. So when I'm saying what is the state of my object, I'll say I have a EMP object having three fields. The contents are Akshita, 34 and 50. It is called as a state. Whatever are the content within the object represent the state of the object. Okay? Is it okay? All right. So I have the employee object, instance kaho yahan object. Through the Java application, you will write it onto the data. You will write it onto your file. So you have to make the connection. जैसे पहले आपके पास डेटा आउटपुट स्ट्रीम एंड डेटा इनपुट स्ट्रीम था, वैसे अब आपके पास क्या है? ऑब्जेक्ट आउटपुट स्ट्रीम एंड ऑब्जेक्ट इनपुट स्ट्रीम. The process of writing the object in the file is called as serialization, and the process of reading the data from the file, which is in the form of object, is called as deserialization. When you are writing the object in the file, use the method writeObject. When you're reading the object from the file, use the method readObject. Where these methods are defined, these are defined in object output stream and object input stream. Let us check. Object input stream, object output stream. Object input stream is having a method. What is that method? There is a readObject. Can you see? Its return type is object. Next, object output stream is having a method. What's that method? WriteObject. WriteObject. And it takes some obj. Is it fine? Perfect. Have you all understood up to this point? Yes or no? Perfect. Now, listen carefully. Let us try to write the data and we will see serialization now. Still there is some point which is still remaining, but let us first go ahead and defining the class first. I'll create a class employee. Maybe I'll say I have a string name. I have some integer emp ID. Maybe I'll have float salary. Correct? Then I'll define a constructor. Source generate constructor using fields. I'll say select all and generate. So it will generate a constructor using these three fields. Correct? And let me just have, you can say toString. I'll say generate. Right? So here I have toString. Next point. Let us assume in this main, this is my main. Here also I'll have the same thing. I have a data file which is binary. I'm having a write record function. And I'm having a read record function. So I have two methods defined within the class. Let my menu list, let my main be exactly the same. So here, let us say we will write the function write record. I'll use a try block handler, but now I know I have to write the object. So I will write object output stream. Maybe I'll say object output stream is equal to. Once again, let me go to the object output stream. Let me go to the constructor and show you the constructor is taking output stream. Here also, constructor is taking input stream. Correct? So here, new object output stream. When you say object output stream, I need to import this java.io.object output stream. Here, I want to make this OS connecting with BOS. So can I say, here I'll write new buffered output stream. And inside the bracket, new file output stream. And inside the bracket, new file, that's path name. Have you all understood how we have gone with this? Yes or no? Everyone? Perfect. Next point. In this case, in this scenario, I want to write an object. Which object? Of the type employee. So can I say first I have to create the EOBJ? Correct. So I'll just say employee emp is equal to new employee. I'll say first I have passed name, ID and salary. Name, ID and let us say salary. Right? I'll say OOS dot write object I'll say EMP. In this case, everyone, have you all understood up to this point? Yes or no? Are you there? Would you understand how I've made the linking clear? Perfect. Similarly, I'll go for read record. Instead of object output stream, I'll go for object input stream. Object input stream. I have to import java.io. Here also, I'll say object input stream, new buffered input stream, new file input stream, new file and the data. Correct? Next point. I have to read the object. So how do we go for OIS.read object? But as everyone knows, the read object method, just check. Read object. Somewhere over here. Read object method may have return type as object. So please tell me, if I just write here, read the object, it will have the return type as object. But मेरा object कौन से type का है? Of type employee. So can I write here, I want to go for EOBJ is equal to this. Is it okay? I have to add a throws declaration. Correct? Next, I'll just say system.out.println data read from the file, and maybe I'll just say system.out.println EOBJ. Are we okay? Everyone? Perfect. Good. Any questions so far? Perfect. Next point. It's giving here read record. Throws declaration was missing. Class not found. Okay. Now, let us observe OS.write object new employee. You can write, no worries. This is just for your ease I've written. Okay. You can combine 2 lines. Perfect. Line number 62, I'll explain again. I want to read the object. So I'll use the method read object. From which class? Object input stream. So it's a non-static method. So I'll say OOS.read object. But if you can see OOS.read object, it is having a return type as object. I have to downcast it to employee. And that's the reason. Whatever I'm reading the object, I'm downcasting it to employee and I'm storing in the reference called as EOBJ. And I'm printing that EOBJ. This will give a call to EOBJ.toString. So it will take name, EMP ID and salary. Did you all understand? Yes or no? Okay. Still there is an error, but let us first execute. I'll execute this program. I want to write the record. I'll say 1. And I'll say enter. Can you see the error? It says exception in the main thread java.io. Not a serializable exception. Right? So, let us check what is the meaning of java.io not serializable exception. I'll go to java.io. Right? There's an exception which is not a serializable exception. Sorry, I'll go to exceptions. Right. Can you see? It is thrown when the instance is required to have a serializable interface. Please tell me, what is my instance into this program when I am writing the record? मेरा instance कौन सा है? Can you please tell me मैं कौन से instance या कौन से object को लिख रही हूँ? Guys, मैं EMP object को लिख रही हूँ. Are you there? Correct. EMP object belongs to which class? Belongs to which class? Belongs to employee class. Is my employee class is implementing serializable? No. And that's why I have got not a serializable exception. Okay. Have you understood why we have got this exception? It is because whenever you are writing the object into the file, that process is called as serialization. But when you say, I want to go for an object to be written on serialization on the file, in that case, that object must be serializable. अगर उसको right है, तो ही हम उसे लिख सकते हैं फाइल में. Are we okay? So, please tell me, is my instance EMP is having a serializable interface? No, it is not implementing serializable. So let us check implemented interface, serializable. Quickly tell me, serializable is what? What is serializable? Serializable is an interface. Perfect. Next, can you please observe? Serializable mein, do we have any methods? No. तो ये कौन सा इंटरफेस हो गया? Just give me a second. Just give me a second. I'll So, if you observe, there's a serializable interface. It is not having any method. If it is not having any method, then that is called as marker interface. तो इसका मतलब जो भी क्लास serializable को implement करेगा, will that object can be written onto the file? Of course, yes. जो क्लास serializable को implement नहीं करेगा, तो उस क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट हम फाइल में नहीं लिख सकते. Have you understood what is the meaning of serializable? It is like a marker interface. The class who implements the serializable, that class can be written onto the file. Please check. Serializability of the class is enabled by the class implementing java.serializable interface. Let's read it. Class that do not implement this interface will not have any of their states serialized or deserialized. कुछ समझ में आया स्टेटमेंट? जब तक मेरा क्लास serializable इंटरफेस को implement नहीं करता है, till that point it cannot be serialized. What do you mean by serialization? That particular object I can write it onto the file, and deserialization I can read it from the file. So, have you understood up to this point? Yes or no? Can I say, आपको अगर याद रहेगा तो हमने clonable नाम का भी इंटरफेस किया था. Do you remember clonable? Yes or no? When you use clonable, then if you call .clone method, उसी ऑब्जेक्ट का आप क्लोन कर सकते हो जो क्लोनेबल को इंप्लीमेंट करता है. Do you remember the points? Yes or no? Right? Same is the case over here. You can write the state of the object, that is called as serialization, only if your class is implementing serializable. Okay? So the write object method is responsible for writing the state of the object. Read object is responsible for reading the data from the stream and restoring the class fields. Have you got up to this point? Yes or no? Perfect. So here, let us say I'm writing implements serializable. I have to import java.io. Can I say now my class employee is implementing the serializable interface? Yes or no? Of course, yes. If it is implementing the serializable interface, means can I perform read object and write object? Yes, definitely. Let us check. I'll write the record. The file has been created. Right click and refresh. Can you see demo.data file is created? Right. I'll say read the data. Is it reading the data from the file? Is it giving me the content from the file? I'll say 0, so it will exit. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone, could you understand what do you mean by serialization and deserialization and how you can achieve serialization and deserialization? Is it okay? Is it unchecked exception? Guys, please check. क्या आपका कोई भी इंटरफेस चेक्ड या अनचेक्ड एक्सेप्शन में आता है क्या? आपका क्लास चेक्ड और अनचेक्ड एक्सेप्शंस में आता है, right? Is it an interface? Right, interface never comes under the category of checked exception or unchecked exception. Do you guys remember the things? Perfect. Now, I'll give you one example or I'll explain once again. Few people are saying repeat again. Please concentrate. Suppose I'm saying write the object on the file. And I'll say read the object from the file. When you write the object on the file, तो उस process को आप क्या बोलते हो? Quickly tell me. उस process को आप क्या बोलते हो? Serialization. Do you agree? And when you read the object, that process is called as deserialization. Are you okay up to this point? Yes or no? Perfect. Next point. When you say, I am trying to write the object, please tell me, object किसका बनता है? Object किसका बनता है? Class का बनता है. Correct? Here also, object किसका रहेगा? कोई ना कोई class का रहेगा. Correct? To write the object on the file, I give a call to write object function. To read the object from the file, I'll give a call to read object method. From which class? From object output stream and object input stream. But if I'm saying, let us assume I am writing one string str is equal to new string, bracket mein I'm passing Sunny. Now please observe. Into this case, can you please tell me what is str? Can I say it is also an object? Yes or no? Yes or no? Of course, yes. Let's go to java.lang. And let us say we have seen a string class. Right? Can you please tell me, is my class string implement serializable? Yes. If my class string implements serializable, what does it mean? If it is implementing the serializable, it means I can use write object on str. तब ही मैं write object and str कॉल कर सकती हूँ. It is absolutely valid. अभी कुछ समझ में आया? Okay. Now, let me take one more example. Maybe I'll go to integer class. Is my integer class is having some implemented interface as serializable? Yes. Can I write an integer object onto the file? Yes. Next, let us say I'm going to system class. Please observe and tell me, if I create maybe scanner class, let us take scanner class, util, I'll go to scanner. Right. Is my scanner class is implementing serializable? So let us assume I'm creating one scanner object. How do you create scanner object? I'll say scanner sc is equal to new scanner system.in. And in this case, If I'm saying I've created a scanner class object, in this case, does my SC scanner class implement serializable? Is my scanner class implement serializable? Answer is no. If it is not implementing the serializable, then when I write object SC, it is going to throw exception. What is that exception? The exception is not serializable. I'll go to java.io and I'll say exception, not serializable exception. Could you understand the difference? The class which implements serializable can have a right to write onto the file. The class which do not implement serializable interface cannot be written onto the file. Are we okay? तो अगर मुझे किसी भी क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट फाइल में राइट करना है या फाइल से रीड करना है, that particular class must implement serializable. I'll wait here. Look at this diagram so that you can understand. If it is understood, just let me know. I'm using very simple terminologies. If any class implements the serializable, then only I can write that particular object inside the file. All right. If it is understood, just let me know. Is it understood? Is it understood? All right. तो अभी समझ में आया कि when I'm writing employee class implement serializable, I can only then only I can read and write the objects from the for the employee object inside the class. Is it okay? Shall I proceed? So let us check. Everyone, please tell me in your java.lang package, can you quickly tell me what is float? What is float? It's a class. Is it having some implemented interface as serializable? Yes. So can you quickly give me the answer? Can I write a float object inside the file? Of course, yes. Is it okay? Next, let's check number class. Is my number class is serializable? Right. इसलिए जितने भी आपके नंबर क्लास के सब क्लासेस है वो सब सीरियलाइजेबल को इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे. डू यू अग्री? करेक्ट. जस्ट चेक रन टाइम. Runtime class is having a superclass as object. Can you serialize runtime object into the file? No. Why? Because it does not implement serializable. Next, thread class. Just check. Is my thread class is anywhere implementing the interface called as serializable? No. So can I create a thread object and write it into the file? Answer is no. Are we okay? Yes or no? Perfect. So have you all got up to this point so that I can proceed ahead? ठीक है. Let us assume I have an application where I am creating a class. This is, you can take it as a practice question. I am creating a class, maybe a class student. I have student ID, student name, and student marks. Next, I want to have or create one object, and I want to write and read student object in the file. Will you be able to do this job? Everyone. Perfect. Next point. Listen carefully. Next point. I want to create array list of student objects. And maybe I have 5 objects. Correct? And then what is my requirement? Put, complete, or write an array list in the file and read an array list from the file. Did you understand the problem statement? Yes or no? Right. So can I say in this scenario, I must have a class student implements serializable. 100% I will require this. Perfect. When I'll create student object S1, S2, S3, S4 and S5, I will create an array list, maybe list dot add S1 and so on. Can I say मुझे ये सब लिखना पड़ेगा? Correct. Now can I say I have to create array list of type student, maybe list is equal to new array list. Do you agree? This is how we create an array list of students. You all have seen this. Perfect. But at this moment, if I'm saying my student class is implementing serializable, then अगर मुझे complete array list object ही file में लिखना है, that means if I have a requirement, write object, the complete list, means can I say this array list class must also having implements serializable. And can I say this is like a real-time application where I have so many number of records, I will put it into some collection and that complete collection, I can write it into the files. Can this be a real-time example? Of course, yes. So can you please tell me, student class is user-defined or you can say predefined? User-defined. If it is user-defined, means can I say I shall have implement serializable while defining the class student? Right. Next. When you say in this scenario, is my array list is predefined? Right. If my array list is predefined, then can I say whenever the array list class has been created, it must have implement serializable? Right. Let's go to java.util package. Let us observe array list. And let us check the array list implements serializable. है कि नहीं है? Yes, it is there. So did you now understand why array list implements list, why it implements random access, why it implements clonable, why it implements serializable? Are the things are okay with you now? Is it okay? Perfect. So have you understood हमने employee class को implement serializable क्यों लिखा है? Check any collection. Maybe you can check any collection like a linked list. Is it serializable? Yes, 100%. Check. Stack. Set me. You can check. Preset. Is it serializable? Yes. Next. Linked hash set. Is it serializable? Yes. So could you understand why they all have the implemented serializable? It is like a marking given to them. Marker interface hai. Marking is given to them. Yes, you can write the object of this class into the file. All good up to this point, everyone? Right. In real time, we can save any file in the background and rewrite the whole file. See, if you are working on your own project, आपका project और आपके files एक ही system पे है. In this case, if we talk about implementing the serializable, that means your file may be there on another, you can see location also. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि आपका जो प्रोजेक्ट है वो एक ही लोकेशन पे है, right? Through the Java program, you need to write a file. You need to read from the file. So in that case, you need these things. Okay? Perfect. Right now, my object is here only. My source code is also here. My files are also there. Everything is on one place. But when in future you want to read the data from some file which is there at some other location, then you have to go for serialization and deserialization process. Right? ठीक है. Next point. Please observe. In case of as soon, so अभी आपको इतना तो समझ में आया सबको कि serializable word क्यों लिखा है? Implement serializable. Are you guys there? Please give me a quick feedback. Perfect. Good. So now let us go ahead. You are seeing some warning, right? And it says that the serializable class employee does not declare static field final serial version UID. Now, what is serialization and deserialization? It means I will write the content onto the file or I will read the content from the file. Have you ever heard about something called as encryption and decryption? कभी सुना है आपने? What is encryption? Encrypt and decrypt. Encryption means you convert your code into some other form so that it could not be understood by third party. And decryption is basically whatever code is encrypted, उसे हम change करते हैं, decoding करते हैं. But do you know, when you perform encryption and decryption, it requires some common thing which is called as a key. So that the one, अगर मैंने encryption कुछ process से follow किया है, तो I will give that key and the person who's having that key can decrypt it. Do you understand? Correct. So in the same case, when you are performing the serialization, the class whose object I'm writing, it should have a serial version UID field. It's a unique identification number which is given to that particular class for writing the data onto the file. So if you write here, if you do not write this, it will give you just, you can say, warning. Here, see the options. It says add a default serial version UID. So I'm adding a ID. So I've added this ID. Right? Next point. I'll repeat once again. Add generated serial version ID. Generated serial version ID is generated by your JVM. It is always the public, or it is always private static final long serial version UID, which is generated by your JVM or your compiler. So you can add a default serial version UID, which is uniquely given for this class whenever the dot class file will get generated. So जब आपका deserialization होगा तो ये key match होता है and accordingly वो file से आपको data read करके देता है. Is it okay? Is it fine? Is it okay? Perfect. Now, good. Shall we go ahead? So let us read it. So we have seen serialization, writing the object, deserialization, reading the object. And how we have made this connection, I have proved by writing these two statements. One is this one, and another is 67 line. Next, what is serialization? If we want to convert state of the object of the class into binary data, we should use this class, and that we have used. The process of converting state of Java instance into the binary data is called as serialization. If we want to serialize state of Java instance, then its class must implement java.io.serializable interface. Otherwise, write object method will throw not a serializable exception. Serializable is a marker interface. So if you have any kind of association. For example, if I have a class date, class employee, and I'm creating the object of class date within the employee class, then we must say it is nothing but serialization. But please make sure, even if it is an association, in that case, we shall always go for something called as implements serializable, right? So, if we talk about implements serializable for the class whose object is created in another body, तो दोनों classes में हमें implement serializable लिखना पड़ेगा. Now, if you can observe, I'll execute the code again. I am writing the record. I am reading the record. Can you see? I'm getting name. I'm getting employee ID. I'm getting salary. What does it mean? The complete object state, however I have stored, it have got written inside the file and it have got read from the file. Do you all agree? Every data has been read and every data has been written. But what is my requirement now? I'll just copy this code. Copy and let's paste it. I'll remove this file and rename it. All right. Now, in this case, when you say what is our requirement, I want to create a class employee, want to create an object of the class, want to write the state of the object in the file, read the state of the object from the file, but here the salary field must not get serialized. So it means if I want to restrict some fields to be restricted from what? From the process of serialization and deserialization, then I shall write a keyword called as transient. Here, I'll declare transient salary. ST is capital. Transient. It should work. Transient float salary. Let's check. Yeah, the keyword will come first. So transient float salary. So let us try to execute this code. I'm saying write the record. I'm saying read the record. Can you see salary has come 0.0? Means if we declare the field as transient, it means that particular field is not going to be serialized or deserialized. So that's what I've written. JVM, do not serialize state of static and transient field. Are we okay? Deserialization, process of converting binary data in the state of Java instance is called as deserialization. We have talked about serial version UID, which is basically a version number, right? So in this case, if you do not give a serial version UID, JVM will automatically give that ID to it. If you are creating it, then it is okay. It is always a static and final type of a long field. So here, if you create a class employee, implement serializable. To avoid the warning, you can always generate a serial version UID, right? Have you all understood up to this point? Correct. Now, what is the purpose of transient fields? Let us assume I have created one array list where I have a record of 500 employees with EMP ID, with name and the salary. So let us assume I want to view the array list. So if I'm the employee of the company, I can view that complete array list. But if I just say I will view the array list, it will show me all the names, all the EMP IDs and the salaries component for all the employees. But I want to avoid that salary component should be viewed by everyone. So what I'll do, while serialization, I will just maintain it in my array list. While putting into the file, it will not reflect. While reading from the file, it will not reflect. So when I will try to read the record, read the object from this using the deserialization process, at that moment, I will not be able to see the salary component. So it's like some kind of a hiding the things from while reading and while writing. Is it okay? Perfect. Shall we go ahead? It will not get written. process of complete serialization will not be taken place if you declare transient fields. Is it okay? Perfect. Shall we go ahead? All right. So I'll close this project. I'll wait here, and I want all of you, just let me know if you all have understood all the 4 categories in binary file. So that, perfect. So shall we go ahead to the next concept, reading and writing on the text files. If you all have understood these all programs, the first 2 programs are exactly the replica of these 2 programs. I'll help you out, don't worry. Perfect. Any questions so far? No. कुछ समझ में आया? All right. Now, when you say not serializable exception, please understand, when you say not serializable exception, it's a class. Hold on. I'll go to java.lang. Right? Give me a second. In this case, you have list of exceptions, correct? And there is this non-serializable exception comes under java.io. Java.io and not serializable exception. Somewhere you have, right? Not serializable exception. It's there, right? And where I am in IO, right? So I'm looking into classes. I'll look into exception. Yeah. Right. Can you see it comes under IO exception and the exception, correct? But when in this case you have already mentioned in your program throws IO exception, जहां पे आपने read and write लिखा है वहां पे IO exception लिखा है ना, तो have you handled it? Yes, it's a checked. सिर्फ सीरियलाइजेबल की बात करोगे तो वो इंटरफेस है, वो कोई कैटेगरी में नहीं आता है चेक्ड अनचेक्ड. नॉट सीरियलाइजेबल एक्सेप्शन आपके चेक्ड कैटेगरी में आता है, बट उसका सुपर क्लास कौन सा है? आईओ एक्सेप्शन. हैव यू हैंडल्ड इट? यस, आई हैव already handled it, right? Perfect. Good. So shall we go ahead? All right. I'll create a new project. Day 14_7. And let's try to create a new class. As you know, if you can recollect, when I say single character, multiple characters, primitive and non-primitive, they all work on a binary. But when you want to work with text, you have only 2 options. Writing a single byte, writing a number of characters. ऐसा क्यों? It is because when you are saying primitive type, these should be converted by your JVM ultimately in the binary format. That's why हम इसे binary में ही store कर सकते हैं. Again, when you are saying I'm writing a complete object is not read in the form of text files. That's the reason it always comes into the non-primitive category and you can handle it using binary files only. But when you say I want to read and write a text as a single byte, I have a file reader and a file writer. Again, multiple characters, buffer reader and buffer writer, right? Let us observe. I'll go to java.io and here, let's see. file reader, file writer, buffered reader, and buffered writer. File reader is a class for reading character files. Method is same, read and write from the input stream. They are inherited methods. File writer, convenience class for writing the character files. Method is write only. Can you see? Again, when you say buffered reader is used for character input stream buffering. They are used for buffering. In this scenario, check the method. If I have a method, then you have here something called as write method. In reader, you have a read method, right? And here it is used having a method called as write method. There is writer, there is new line, there is close, and so on. But these are exactly on the similar lines. Okay, so let us take the same example which we have seen in 14_2. जहां पे हमने file output stream लिखा था, what will be the change? Instead of file output stream, I will use file writer, right? Let me just copy this, the same code. Let us start changing this. I'll have a menu list function. I'll try to perform 14_7, read record and write record. The things will be same. Next, I'll remove this, maybe I'll go for input stream. Okay. Next, I am going to work with text files. Maybe I'll create test file.txt. Instead of file output stream, I'll use file writer. I'll say FW. Are we okay? New file writer. Here also it takes the file name, which is nothing but test.txt in our case. I'll import file writer from java.io. Next point, I want to write. So I will use a write method. I want to write one character. Maybe I'll write one single character A. So it will print data is successfully written in the file. But please make sure I have created here a text document. TXT file बनाई है. Next, when I want to read it, instead of file input stream, which class I'll go for? I'll use file reader. Instead of file input stream, I'll use file reader. I'll go for maybe file reader, maybe FR. Maybe fr.read. As we know, it is going to read a single character. I'll just write char. Maybe I'll write here char ch. And data read from the file is nothing but ch. I have to import java.io. Could you realize what I have made, what changes I have made? I've just changed the file name, and according to my requirement, I've just changed the class names. That's it. The job is done. Let us execute this code. Let's execute. I want to read the record. 100%. It will say file not found exception. I'll again execute. I'll say write the record. It is written, writing the data onto the file. Let me just refresh this. Can you see test.txt file is created? Let us go here. 14_7. Please check test.txt file is created 1240 and I will open it. Can you see I'm getting the actual characters? Yes, because text files are always in human readable format. Next, I want to read it. I am reading the data. I want to stop this execution. I'll press 0. Have you understood the points over here properly? Yes or no? Perfect. So that's the reason I've said, if you understand the first program, rest all the programs you can solve easily. Once again, I'll copy this code. 14_8. Correct? I'll rename it. Before proceeding ahead, please check this line. Writer hierarchy, reader hierarchy. Did you understand this? We try to write a single character at a time in the file. Have you all understood how we have made this connection of objects? Or how the linking is made? Is it okay? Is it exactly same as your binary file? Yes, of course. Now, let us say I have a requirement, read multiple lines to and from the text files. So I will have to use buffered writer and बफर्ड रीडर। कुछ समझ में आ रहा है एवरीवन? वहां पे था बफर्ड इनपुट स्ट्रीम, यहाँ पे है बफर्ड राइटर, बफर्ड रीडर. There we were having buffered output stream. Here we have a buffered writer. Is this the exact similar things that we are working on? Yes. All right. Let's observe. I'll go for test.txt. Correct. I'll say I'll go for a write record, which may throw file not found or IO exception. Here, I'll change this try block. I'll say try. I'll go for a try block handler where inside this try block handler, we will write buffered writer, maybe BW, is equal to new buffered writer. I'll take this from java.io. Next, it takes some file writer, new file writer. It takes some file, new file, and let us say path name. Have you all understood this line? Everyone? Yes or no? Perfect. Next point. Whenever you are creating a buffer writer, you can write multiple lines in the text file. So maybe I'll say bw.write. I want to write some data. I'll write my name. Again, I'll just say bw dot something called as write line. Something new line. Yeah, new line. So it will print a new line on your this. Again, I'll say bw dot write. And maybe I'm just writing technical trainer. Again, I'm saying bw dot new line. So it will break a line. Again, I'll say bw dot write line. Sorry, new line ke baad write. And I want to write some name. So you can write multiple number of lines into the text document using buffered writer, right? Maybe you want to go for a new line. So you can put once again new line. If you say bw dot write once again, I'm saying full. That's it. So I have written total 4, you can say lines, right? Similarly, if I want to read the record, I'll go for the same kind of a try block with one major modification. What can be the modification? The class name. Instead of buffered writer, I'll go for a buffered reader. That's it. Instead of buffered writer, I'll go for buffered reader. Instead of file writer, I'll go for a file reader. This is going to read the data from your file. But whenever you are reading the data from the text file, some logic that you have to write over here. So I'll just write string line. Maybe I'll say while line is equal to, I'll create br, buffer reader dot read line. This is going to read a single line. It will put it inside the line till the time you're not going to get the null. Null indicates end of the text file. And I'll just print the line. Let us first try to execute this code and observe. We are trying to write the record. So I'll say 1. The data is written. Let's try to refresh. See this test.txt is created in 14_8. I'll go to 14_8. Right now, test file has been created. Can you see? I am getting the output the way I wanted. I've written first line, went to the new line, second line, went to the new line, third line, and fourth line. I am easily able to read the document because it is a txt file. I'll say read the record. It is reading the complete record till your end of the file is not occurring. I'm pressing 0 for exiting from the program. Have you all understood this, the connection? Everyone. If you were awake in the morning, right? And if you have understood the concept of reading and writing in the binary, text files writing and reading is like a cakewalk for you. Okay. Right. End of the file, if it is in binary, you check -1. And when you say end of the file in this text file, you check using null. Okay. All right. Any other doubts that you have? Any other doubts? Are you going through the code? Done. So, could you get the complete programs of file handling? I think I shall not start with annotation, otherwise it will create a confusion. I want everyone to practice these. Correct? If you want to write, someone is asking, if you want to write an object on a text file, that is not a possibility that you have. The reason is, if you want to write an object is created from the class. तो आपको पहले class create करना पड़ेगा which implements serializable. And that's the reason, first, these things are creation of class, implementing of serializable, writing the object can be done on your DAT files. Okay? That's the reason I have shown you yesterday the different combination of operations and the different combination of operation in binary as well as in text files. Right? Good. Shall we continue with annotation in tomorrow's session? Annotation and reflection? Yes or no? All right. Take. So I will just quickly put the source code into this and push the data. Meanwhile, I'll wait here, go through the codes that you have, and if you still have the doubts, please do ask. I'll stop recording, we'll upload it at the earliest. Hope you have learned something in today's session. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.